with you, and honey told me one. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate and honor the life of the beautiful Stella Quiros. My name is Valerie, the oldest of my grandma's great grandkids, and it is both an honor and a privilege to share her eulogy with you tonight. If you ever pass by Waters, you probably saw Grandma on the porch, word search in hand, smile on her face, ready to welcome anybody who stopped by. For me though, those afternoons meant I got to play red light, green light with her. And so today, I invite you to join me for one last game. But this time, and this time only, Grandma, I get to call it. Green light, October 5th, 1934. In Pomona, California, Nellie and Steve Alvarado welcomed their second child into the world, Stella Alvarado. One of 4 children, Alice, Stella, Steve, her son, and Sally. Stella grew up surrounded by family, laughter, and the California sunshine she loved so much. Summers at Indio became her favorite time of year because if there was one thing Grandma couldn't stand, it was being cold. She was a girl with deep roots, born, raised, married, and eventually laid to rest in the same city. Pomona was her home through and through. Everything she loved was right here: family, community, and the life she built with Grandpa. In 1955, she married her one and only love, Louis Quiros. He was her first and only boyfriend, her partner for life. Together, they raised 3 children, Louis, David, and Janice, while also help raising their goddaughter, Marty, building a family filled with love, faith, and laughter. They were the kind of parents who always showed up. Louis was a Cub Scout leader, Stella was a dam mom, side by side at every meeting, every event, every milestone. Grandma also dedicated 30 years as a teacher's aide at Madison Elementary School, where she was known as Mrs. Q, or for some, Miss Skittles. Generations of students and families came to love her, and even long after she retired, they showed up for her the same way she had shown up for them. When the grandkids came along, nothing changed. Birthdays, school events, every celebration, big or small, she would show up with a smile on her face, most of the time with food in hand. She cooked for her family and community constantly, making sure no one ever went hungry. She even sold food to help fundraise for one of her grandkids because supporting them is what she did best. On weekends, my mom would sneak over in the mornings just to have breakfast with Grandma and Grandpa, knowing they would be waiting for her outside. Their love was the kind that lasted through the decades. They even retired together, choosing to step into the next chapter of life the same way they lived every day, as a team. She never drove, but she never needed to. Grandpa was always right there, from the porch on Waters to the very room where they shared their lives until the end. Yellow light, January 2000. Time slowed for you, Grandma, when you lost the love of your life after 44 years of marriage. From that day on, not a morning passed that you didn't long to be with Grandpa again. You carried his memory into every corner of your life, missing him in the big moments and the quiet ones. But even through the heartache, you stayed surrounded by family. Janice and her kids moved into the house, filling it with life and noise, so you were never alone and never got a moment of quiet again. You became a great grandma that same year, and from then on, birthdays, school events, and holidays, they always had you there. At Christmas, we'd gather to make tamales, though what that really meant was, I put the muscle on the husk, and you quietly redo every single one. But we got that time together, laughing in the kitchen, making memories I'll never forget. Saturdays were for church, always sitting in the back pews, always with the rosary in hand. Your faith carried you through every season of life, even the hardest ones. You helped with homework, walked to the corner store for crackers, played games, and made sure we all knew the style of the world had passed you by whenever someone wore ripped pants. When I was young, you'd say, kids were made fun of for holes in their jeans because it meant you were poor. We'd laugh every time knowing you were right, but we wore them anyways. You always wanted snacks, Ritz crackers, cookies, and somehow there was always a plate of something on the table if someone stopped by. Every day you sat on the porch talking with neighbors, walked to their houses, laughing, sharing stories. Friends stopped by constantly, knowing your door and your heart were always open. You made the best Mexican food anyone ever tasted. People still ask about your rice, your tamales, and especially your potato salad, the kind everyone would hope to be at every party because nothing else could compare. And through it all, you stayed simple, never needing much, never asking for much, just wanting your family close by. Even after loss, you chose love, you chose family, and you chose to keep showing up. Red light, August 13, 2025, the world stopped. Everything came to a halt the moment you left us. For us, it was the hardest red light of all, but for you, Grandma, it was the ultimate green light. The moment you were reunited with Grandpa, with your son, with your parents, and all the loved ones who had gone before you waiting at the Golden Gates. After 44 years with Grandpa and 25 years longing for him, you were finally home. You passed peacefully in your own bed in the house you shared with Grandpa in the same room where so much love had lived. Devout Catholic woman, you left this world with the same faith you carried every day of your life. Our hearts shattered that day. Another piece of us gone, because you were the rock of our family, the reason we all showed up, and the center that held us all together. But even through the tears, we know what you left us with: kindness and community. You never judged the soul. You never cared what someone looked like, what mistakes they made, or what troubles they carried. You loved every person the same. You made every single person feel like family. You always said, "I love you, mija," or "I love you, mijo," every time we laughed. You told me I was the prettiest girl more times than I can count. Those words, your voice, are the pieces of you I can't let go of, the ones I will forever carry with me. If love alone could have kept you here, you never would have left us, but you did. And so we will honor you in the only way we can, by carrying you in our words, our food, our memories, our stories, and in the way we love each other, the way you taught us to. Grandma, I could stand up here for hours, days. I could write novels about your life and the legacy you leave behind. But the truth is, all the words in the world, all the art in the world, could never measure up to who you were or the love you gave. There's a quote I once heard that says, "People die twice. Once on the day they die, and again the day we stop telling their story." Grandma, you will truly never be gone, because we will tell your story over and over again, in the kitchen making tamales, and the music of your rancheras, and every plate of rice or potato salad, and the way we love and show up for our families, the way you loved yours. I will search for you in everything I do, everywhere I go, and every bite I taste, because somehow, like always, you will show up. So today, I won't say goodbye. I'll just say, see you later, Grandma.